Wait, are we good? Are we going? Is it happening? World Building Wednesdays? Real? What? Hmm? Said whom? Is it are we good? Are we it's still going to the it's not it's what? Why is it not doing what I tell it to? Hold on. Yay, we're good. We're good. Hi guys. Hello. Hey slowpokes. This is gonna be a short stream today. Only an hour long instead of two. Welcome to World Building Wednesdays. I figured that you guys might want to get in on this live. So, we're world building collaboratively together. Although I'm a tyrant, I have final say because I make the rules here. But this you get to be in on it. This is the deal. So we're not like fully moved in to the new house. All of my stuff, or most of my stuff, is still in boxes. But I shoved it outside of my room. So, dictatorship. Yep. I don't have all of my wonderful acoustic paneling up, so audio quality is going to be a bit potato today. But yay! So I get to tell you guys about this book, The Art of Promises. This is my regular fiction that I was telling you guys about. um, and then we're gonna start making languages for it. So this is hold on. Uh, hopefully the video quality is all right. I can't tell whether the lines are disappearing on my little preview thing over here just because it's so small or because it's actually fuck. Still sounds better than your old streams, Mark, I bet. Also it's hot, really hot. So I've got a fan blowing on me. I hope it's not too loud. But this is Naria. Naria? Nyaria? I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of these names, so it's all subject to change. But this is sort of the world that it takes place in. Narnia. So this is the human continent, Wolvrayan, and this is the fairy continent, Phytania. So there are two uh, races on this world. There's humans, and then there's the fairies. Um, Now humans, right? Humans are um, apex predator hunter gatherers, but and so we developed like running and sweating for stamina and to be able to throw things. But fairies over here, they're more sneaky, right? They're close to the top of the food chain, but not quite. They do have several natural predators. Um, that of course get eliminated once humans civilize this area. But they they trap and they're obligate carnivores. So well, no, not quite. They're not obligate carnivores. They can eat plants, but it's like the way we eat gum. They're not They don't get sick from it, but they're not like processing it. If that makes sense. It's mostly like teas and stuff for the flavors or the oils for medicinal purposes. I'm guessing as part of that Madame Munch's thing. No. This is separate. Madame Munch's Culinary Institute for the Supernaturally Gifted is its own thing, right? Um, I might do something with that later, but that I don't know. Yeah. So the book will take place here in the Osh Empire. Now Osh or Hosh, I can't. Sorry, I'm getting really excited because I really like all of this stuff that I'm doing and I'm sharing it with you guys. And anyway, um, the Osh Empire, this is a breathy vowel, um, is the main setting, right? Osh means in the Ashan language means gold, so Golden Empire. But they sort of want to take over the world, and what they do, right, is they harvest fairies as livestock, and then they harvest their magic. And of course, they don't call it that. They have their own word for it. They say arcana. They harvest the fairies' natural arcana, into the and they keep it as a reserve for arcane magic. Uh, Fairies, unfortunately for them, are intelligent, sapient beings. So that's kind of bad. They're kind of bad for doing that, chat. That's a bad thing. But they do it anyway. So the main character of this book is Unit A66, who his later companion dubs him Axe. So his goal is to dismantle the Ash Empire and save his people. Ash wants to sort of take over the world, and these are sort of the surrounding humans in this book, in this world, in the world of Narya, generated in this area. Like they started around here and then they spread outwards. So I've got this whole like here's all the climates. Here's a brief overview of them. Here's the like affiliations, the relationship network. We've got a full tree of the evolution of the languages. And how's Axe gonna dismantle the empire with the power of friendship? Probably. Um, Magic, of course, guys. It's all magic, right? So there are three types of magic. I don't want to call it magic in world, but essentially this is the magic system. There are three main types, right? There's the five magic, which are based on five promises, fairy promises. So fairies cannot lie. They're physically, like biologically, incapable of lying. Because if we go over to the Elvish language, and don't worry about all this crazy stuff, if we scroll down the commissive aspect for all of the verbs, the commissive mood. Um, this is the whenever I say like this shall happen, this will happen, I will do this, I promise you that. All of that is the commissive mood. So this generates the magic, right? So a fairy has an ideal, right? Something that they're going to uphold to the promise with another person. So this is sort of a two-way street here. This promise, right? The ideals fuel the promise. They strive toward it. That, because fairy commission, generates a magical source, which the fairy and the other person can draw upon so long as they are using it in a form which then furthers their ideal towards the promise. And there are pixies that can feed on this magical source, and in order to maintain their life force, essentially, they work to hold the two parties, basically encourage them to follow the source because they feed on it. Druidic magic is literally just exchanging stuff with the forces of nature. So a druid could be like, "Hey, steel, can you give me some of your durability?" And steel will be like, "Yeah, sure, bro, but only if you give me something in return." And everything has like its own motives and different things that it wants from each druid. So that's how you get that. Arcane magic is sort of like the narrative opposite of Phi magic. So the human, right, the mage specifically, I should change this to the mage. So mage is sort of seen as slightly like a side grade to humans, even though they're biologically the same. So all of the Earth's elements, not chemicals, are alive to some degree. Yeah, so my philosophy is in doing this, anything you can care for, like anything you do care for, becomes at least a little alive. Like when you knock into a chair and you're like, "Oh, sorry, dude." Despite the fact that it's just you in the chair. It's sort of like that but on a spiritual level. So the trees have their own motives. Fire like here, if we go into the plot, this is Axe, right? And this is his druid companion, Kellen. So, two characters. This is Axe, and this is Kellen. Oop. So, you cannot think of it as fire melts ice. Why can't I? Oop. The thought is too vague. It leaves far too much room for ambiguity. That's a bad thing? Fire could very well use its abilities to its advantage. How? Humans are so naive. Fire would abuse the fact that it melts ice to melt all of the ice, no matter the size of the ice nor the strength of the fire. Ice would melt however fire wants it to. Okay, so how should I think of it then? It is less fire melts ice, and more, how do I put this? Fire causes ice to become melted. How is that any different? Rather than fire being the agent which actively melts the ice, it is now the presence of fire which allows the ice to melt at its own pace. Why doesn't the fire melt? Why does the ice melt instantly then? Ice does not want to. And why doesn't it stay ice forever then? It does not want to. That doesn't explain anything. It explains everything. You are thinking too small and too self-centered for a druid. What's that supposed to mean? I am not a druid, so I do not know the exact mechanisms through which druidic magic operates. I do, however, know that everything in nature has its own promises and its own magic. What is stopping them from having wills and personalities also? And then later, Kellen says, I asked fire for its heat. And how did fire respond? Harshly. Would you give up your intelligence just because a being larger than you asked for it? I guess not. What will you offer in return? So then Kellen offers his strength, or its strength, I should say. Mages. So humans can become mages through the mage. Not I don't want to call it a mage guild. It's sort of like a religious thing to them, right? So humans have, whatever pronouns, but mages are seen as things, right? So mages use its pronouns because even though they are biologically human, they sort of give that up when they join it, because like, what need does a mage have for gender? That doesn't help them do magic, right? Individuality in that sense is sort of removed from them to further the Empire's will. So Kellen, it then gives it strength. It's burning brighter and bigger too. Yes, it is. I feel weak. You offered your strength for its heat. The fire's cold, and you can melt ice. Shouldn't my clothes be burning? You must not have specified how its heat was used in your deal. So I can use it however I want then? You have replaced fire in fire is hot. Fire wants to be hot everywhere. So it is. But I don't want to be hot everywhere. So you are not. Where do you want to be hot, Kellen? My hands. Be careful not to expend all your heat at once. Why not? You offered a finite amount of strength, and likewise fire offered a finite amount of heat. If my heat runs out, the fire will become hot again, and I won't be able to trade back. Perhaps, perhaps not. Why not? The fire may not want to, but its strength will dwindle just as much as my heat will. Mayhaps. But if you are content to surrender your strength for just a chance to be hot, who's to say it was not content with this trade? How do I ensure I'll get my strength back? Ah, that is the question. Everything has its motives, and its magic to offer. It is up to you to get the most out of every deal, Kellen. So you're telling me to manipulate nature into giving me what I want? I am not. As I have said before, us fairies do not say things we do not mean, and we only mean what we say. So, okay, it's up to me to ensure that both me and the thing I'm exchanging with get desirable outcomes, and that I do not get screwed by the result. You said it, not I. Will my strength recover? Yes, in time. How long will it take? 7 days filled with plenty of bum beetle mashings and copious amounts of Sylar juice should restore your strength just fine, I believe. I think I'll stay away from offering my strength anytime soon. So that sort of sequence there is how I ease the readers into druidic magic. So if you wanted fire to give you heat, you would say something like fire gives off heat instead of fire heats me. So the mage becomes more of a tool. Yeah, kinda. Um, of course not. And the thing with arcane magic. So the fairy has its magic, right? Its commission inside. Its arcana, I should say. So this the ideal towards the promise, right? This step here is considered commission. Um, so this is the commission, but the fairy itself has a source, a pool of which generates when it gives. How do I explain this? When it gives commission to a promise, then its arcana fuels the source, if that makes sense. The magic, this is the arcana here. So this magic here fuels this source. It's not readily available to the fairy unless and until it is given commission towards a promise. The mage, the arcane magic system, doesn't really care about that. It rips the magic from the fairy. A runestone serves as a magic focus, because here the promise is the focus. But here, it is the runestone, or equivalent thing. Runestones are in this world, naturally occurring. They're sort of like fossilized magic, if that makes sense. Runestones, I imagine, are some like waste product of druidic magic at some point. Um, but only in the sense that these occur every billions or so years. I don't know. I'll get around to ironing that out. But the mage then uses their willpower to draw magic from the source in the way that they need it to. So whereas the fairy has to draw their magic from this shared source in a way that furthers the promise or the terms of the promise, the mage has to force that out of the source into the form that they want through willpower. So this this is sort of a net loss kind of thing, where you can see I used the amount of dashes in the arrows. So a fairy, right? The fairy that initiates the promise will receive the most benefit from it. So they will be able to use more magic. It will further faster. Their commission will be more, but their commission, right, has to be more direct, more invested in it. The other party, right, also has to do all of that, and it's an equal input-output type scenario here. It's just that the fairy will gain more than the other party, the instigating fairy, and fairies will always be able to use more Phi magic than humans can. So the person who starts the deal usually gets the most profit out of it. Not necessarily, but fairies, because they cannot lie, they are physically incapable of lying, and breaking a promise will kill them as just a nature of their biology. They have gotten very crafty and very specific with how they use their language. Like here, in the languages, how long have I been streaming? 20 minutes, okay. So here in the languages, right, you have, let's go to Volvaic. This is sort of the degree of specificity in the human languages, right? This language specifically differentiates between the past tense and immediate past. Then there's perfect, pluperfect, and imperfect. The present, which is unmarked, the immediate future, and the future, right? Actually, in Old Wolvraic, it's even less. right? They just have past, perfect, present, abilitative, and future. But if you go over to Elvish, which fairies and pixies came from elves, so this is the if we go to here, you can see at the fairy languages. This is a proto language, right? Like Proto Indo European and other proto languages in the real world, which are generally seen as the start of language that things evolve into. Elvish is a already fully formed, fully usable naturalistic language, which then splits off into more stuff. I didn't really see because the elves and the fairy sort of tree of life has already existed for I'd say close to 50,000 years before humans started doing their human stuff. So plenty of, but they progress slower than humans, right? Um, because they have less need to progress fast. Like humans, we've developed obligate sapience. Fairies don't really need that. Um, and humans have a lot of ambition and avarice. There's a thing called instinctual lag where we separate like the in group from the out group in a lot of our political stuff because back when we started developing tribes, right? Um, we had to separate the in group, our group, from the out group to compete for resources, and we just never sort of grew out of that because of how fast human civilization has developed in the grand scheme of biology, right? Fairies don't exactly have that. Um, their groups are more small, but they don't need to compete for resources because of their whole promise biz. They have the full ability to work out deals that benefit everyone just out of necessity, right? Because what's to stop someone from tricking another fairy into being their slave forever, right? So fairies are taught from a very young age all that sort of stipulations and loopholes, um, and as such, all fairies are generally very good at making sure that any deal they enter into is fair for them. So they don't really have to worry about all of that human explosive expansion and war. Their stuff is more underhanded and subtle, and thus slower. So fairies would have a homeland of sorts, yes. Yeah. So this is the fairy continent. Fairies started around here. Um, this sort of Leirun Alteus area. Um, then they uh split off into Sylvain, and the Alteans are very like secluded. They're seen in like contrast to other fairies as more primitive, even though what fairies consider primitive and what humans consider primitive are very different. Um, Sylvain then splits off into Karen, and this sort of Altean Sylvan people go off to populate Leyron. Can fairies fight back in any way, considering the whole fairy enslavement thing? So there was a war, a big war. Um, I haven't really defined much of it, but there are two heroes of legend from opposite sides of the world, right? So humans, let's see if I can find it. Um, Now this language is very complicated, so don't expect me to get all of this pronunciation right. Uh, Magen vaya eovelmon vigal keo dorongilon bifairia faveo fonzi sorry fonsi vilo eon illa diongeos bichail la faveo erala bichail beomon ve eon dov ai. So The humans arrived on floating structures. Never before had we seen anything that looked remotely similar to this. Pixies expected. Then in ancient, that's just a translation of that. Um, did I write any of the rest down? Was it in Proto over it? Was it? Hold on. Hold on. Uh, Not that one. Yes. Kazoi fioquo pofo quato po iaqua penaf kazoi matifere po fase maca macavta penavi fioquo re poke zo machifel vulvna v rato kezo I'm it's been a long time since I've touched any of this, so my pronunciations are probably whack. Um Manaulov, Fioquo, Mamokaha, Machi Machifemina. You get the point. Anyway, we crossed seas past the mountains. Far away, there was a new world we didn't know existed. The world was filled with strange beasts, most of which could do magic. This magic was different to our magic. Keep in mind, at this point, arcane magic had not been discovered. It was just the druids that sort of naturally appear. Thick forests covered the land. We found small, bug-like creatures of many colors. These are bugs, but also pixies. Creatures lived inside the trees and rocks. Yeah. What time period is it set based around? So all of this, Proto-Wolverine, this is thousands of years ago. The war was thousands of years ago. Like 10,000. But this sort of time period, they haven't like developed complicated technology like electricity or whatever because they hadn't needed to because of the magic system. Um, I'd say this is generally your medieval fantasy. But all of the fantasy creatures, there's not like huge dragons or whatever. I mean, there are griffins, but I mean main events. Yeah, so the Ash Empire has been around for close to well, the Ash Empire has been around for about 1,000 years. Um, but all of the events, I don't really have a good time frame to tell you guys because a lot of the human things in our world that we use to gauge time, like I'm not gonna say, freaking 400 BC, because there Jesus didn't live with fairies, right? Um, I don't really have a good answer to that. Sort of general medieval fantasy, Dark Ages kind of area. Um, it's part adventure, part political drama, actually. So do with that what you will. Um, Now we get to we're about halfway through the stream, yeah. Now we get to the good part of this. So, all of these languages that I've got, Proto-Wolveric, Old Wolveric, Old Ashic, Ancient Voldic, Elvish, Ancient Sylvic, Altan, all of these like wonderfully full things that actually exist that I worked on. We are going to do something real silly. So, uh, yeah, we're just gonna get rid of these. Because I'm not a huge fan of them anymore. We're gonna start fresh. All right, bye. Cool. Gonna rename this one Proto Wolfray. Awesome. It was not like Jesus did not live with the fairies. Yep. So now you guys get to see how I make a conlang. Um, from scratch. So we've got to determine our phonology. So I've got an IPA chart here, uh, with a bunch of symbols that you can hear how they sound. So bilabial plosive, right? Two lips, plosive.
Ba, a ba. Ba, a ba.
Yeah.
Da, a da. Da, a da.
So this is sort of how that is. You can hear the guy, the voice actor, making all of the sounds.
い、あ、う、え、お、
So this is how I generally pick the sounds that I want. But first we are going to, I know, isn't it beautiful? We are going to look up freaking what am I looking up? Languages. What is this? Okay, so that's just Indo-European. That's just the Indo-European language family. Uralic, Semitic, Koreanic, Japonic, Indo-European, and then yeah, we get all of these extra bits down here. So you're gonna see Indo-European being thrown around a lot because that's where the majority of the world's existing natural languages are. Um, the one that no family wants to die. So the Uralic languages, that's Finnish, Hungarian, Semitic languages, like Hebrew and Arabic. Then Koreanic, that's Korean, obviously. Japonic, Japan. Turkish. Austronesian, that's the Polynesian and stuff. Klingonese, Valerian, those are Conlangs. Um, Sino-Tibetan, that's Chinese. So this is sort of what we're working with here. In the Art of Promises, this world, where is it? These are the two language families. And this is heavily simplified. If this were like an actual world spec bio project that were to develop, then obviously there'd be thousands of languages and thousands of little countries, but too much work. So Proto-Wolfraic is a proto-language. So we're going to start out similar to Proto-Indo-European. So if we look up Proto Indo-European phonology, because you got to start with the phonology. So AXI 12, what did you do during the summer break? I spent 4 hours learning how to pick a language. Pretty much. So Proto-Indo-European phonology has been reconstructed. So this, we don't actually know what this sounded like. It's just been reconstructed by linguists by working backwards. So ma, pa, ba, pa, na, ta, da, da, sa, ra, la, ka, ga, ka. Sorry, ka, ya, ya, ka, ga, ka, qua, 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 and then ya, wa, and then it had three different H's. Um, but we don't know exactly what the difference was. So this is sort of what I'm gonna base it off of. Most common phonemes across languages. Starts making noises compilation. um, Okay, cool. Based on the 2,186 language in Poible, is found in 96% of languages, k in 90%, p in 86%, n 78%, t 68%. Despite such prevalent sounds, note that none are universal. Right, of course. So, uh, cool. So for Proto-Wool-Brick, I want m, I want n. We're going to also add p and t to that. We're going to have k. I like the labial as qua. We will voice these two. Is that good for another frequency chart? Yeah. Um, Need to move these all down. For nasals, Proto-Indo-European, it did not have any velar nasals. But we don't have to like stick to this, right? We can do whatever. So we'll add a velar nasal too, which sounds like this.
Nga, nga.
In case you were wondering. So we'll add that too. What else we got? What else we got to work with? So, let's actually. I want to look up photo ergic erolic. I want to check this one out. What does this got going on? Vowels. Let's try. Does it not have UPA? What? Oralic phonetic alphabet. Phonetic construction. Neat. Vowel, unstressed vowels, conditional vowel shifts. Great. Consonants. This is what I'm looking for. So p, t, ch, yeah. Wait. So this is palatal. What? Tia versus kia. It's between there. Ch, ka, na. Yeah. That's wild. This is cool. Okay, so sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just doing research. Um, this is one of those things where you gotta kind of be in the know. If I were to explain all of this, always it would sound complicated. But okay, just to break this down for you, this is sort of what we got. If we go to the IPA chart, that symbol is where? What? I've seen that before. Ah, the voiceless alveolo-palatal fricative.
Sha, a sha.
Sha, a sha. Okay. So if we were to go back here, so this either is sha or sia. So it's somewhere in between there. So it's probably like sha, a sha. I've tried to watch a Conlanging tutorial and failed. Yeah, so anyway, um basically, if we go here, this is the manner of this is the place of articulation where in the mouth it is, and this is the manner. So I'm gonna bring you to one of my favorite websites called Pink Trombone. Barehanded speech synthesis. So let's shut him up for a second. This is the human vocal tract. Ah. So now we've shut him up. If we were to go in the nasal cavity. So any sounds that are made at the lips here. Okay. So, let me explain what I'm doing here. So, bilabial, that means it's made at the two lips, with two lips. Um, Plosive, that means you hold air and then you release it. So, puh, buh. There's voicedness, so this is unvoiced.
Ba. A ba.
Pa, a pa. This is voiced.
Ba. A ba.
Ba, a ba. So it's just distincting whether or not you're using your vocal cords. So, vocal cords off. Voiced. So you can sort of hear ba ba ba. Nasal. Friggin', where is it? Nasal. It's made with the nasal cavity. So if we go back to finish our bone. Going back here towards the hard palate, that's palatal. Velar. I can't make this sound. Also, no nasals can exist back here. Alright, that's enough of that. So, you would try to make a language and then get distracted and mess around with that. Sort of like how I was doing there. How much time do we have left? I spent 10 minutes on that bit. So, we're just we're gonna move right along. Obviously I'm not gonna have time to explain everything I'm doing here, but this is mostly research. So I wanna draw inspiration from this as well. Right? So that's a velar nasal. Sh la, la, yeah. Nope, not that one. So I want to grab the aspirated stops of Proto-Indo-European, but I also want sort of the... Actually, you know what? We'll save most of this inspo for the fairy languages. So I'm going to dock that for now. How chances are I wouldn't understand it anyway, considering I've already tried. Depends on the place to use. I went to Biblaridian first. Okay. We're going off on a tangent now. I went on... Where is my first language? Proto-Sawana. So, this I followed... Okay, hold on. Frickin'... Where is my extensions? I don't want to have this in dark mode all the time. Anyway, I guess it's in dark mode now. So, this is Proto-Sawana that I made. It's ugly because it's in dark mode, but I followed Biblaridian. To make this, and this is bad. This is a bad language. This is stupid. You can see all of the freaking... It's bad. I'm not even gonna explain it. But so this was my first one, and I've only gotten better. Like here, I'll read you an example from this. Ioi ha tanai yono ino, yoi anohoi tanai yono ino, toko tanai yoa oinyo, opoa, toko tanai I hato koyoko ano, pino tanai I hatoko, hiai I hato koyoko, I hatoko, ka I hatoko tanai I hato koyoko. And now I'm going to read you an example from one of my better languages. Where is it? We'll go not this. Sorry, that's a separate thing entirely. We'll go Fizzbop Galactic Standard. If I go down to Polir Mesov ime zwar en sek yarent pro pol niemes sent liu poltas fanu. So this actually reads like a language and not just regular gibberish. To a trained ear, of course, but this takes time. It takes time and work to actually get here. Um, let's go back to maybe if you guys see me do this in like in action, you'll get it a little more. So I want to have aspirated as well. Um, we'll have the so p versus p and b versus b p p. You see, I can't I personally cannot aspirate. My voice stops. I can only aspirate the unvoiced. So I'm gonna have a voiced, sorry, an unvoiced, aspirated, voiced distinction there. Um, and yeah, but I'll only have the non-aspirated ones be velarized at the back here. Just sounds like Westerner trying to hold on. Reconnection successful. Okay. Anyway, moving on. What fricatives do we have to work with? Urgic had the
The.
voiced that. The we'll have frickin' this. Can I type? Yeah, there we go. We'll have this and
Sha.
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 In its third. Yeah, no, that was me. I think that was me on my end. Sh. What else we want? And we'll have the H. Yeah. And then for approximates, we will have Erda. We will, or sorry, it's not a tap. It's a full-on approximate, so it'd be ra, ra. Uh, ra, la. Should we have la? I'm gonna vote no. And then we'll have the palatal one just for flavor. And then labiovelar. That seems good for consonants. Right? Yeah, I'd say this is pretty simple. So we're gonna construct the actual thing now. So we've got nasals, we've got plosives, but then there's also aspirated, labialized. So I'll have 3 for that. Of fricatives, there'll be approximates and laterals. And then one more for the names. Then there's bilabial, alveolar, or sorry, dentoalveolar, then alveolar, then velar, and glottal. Right? Yeah. consonants. We will have all of this then be like such, ruining all of my hard work, of course. Okay. We'll have plosive. We need nasal. We have. Ooh, sorry, actually. I got that wrong. Nasal will go up here. I lied again. I'm not mute, I'm just focused. I'm locked in, as the kids say. Okay, so nasal, plosive. This will be plain. This will be the aspirated. This will be labial. Okay, and then we have fricative, we have proximant, and then we have lateral. Hey, time check. Is it? Dang, 10 minutes left. Ah, gotta wait a whole other week to do this? Brick. I will go until 4:30, actually. Instead of just being a 1 hour stream, it'll be 1.5 hour stream. Self-indulgence. Haha. Yeah. Okay, so now we can relax a little. Have you're gonna hold me to that? You better. Let's just make that all pretty. Awesome. Okay, so we have bilabial. We have dento alveolar, alveolar, alveolare, violar. There we go. Finally, gonna set an alarm. Great. Violar. This is where the cool stuff happens, chat. So, n, and then back how to feed a cat. I guarantee you, you missed nothing. Paste. Okay, fricative. Now we get to go through here. So we got puh. We're gonna have puh. Oop. Tuh and tuh. We'll have duh. So this will be more at the teeth, tuh, versus tuh, and this will be more at the alveolar, duh, versus duh. Very subtle distinction, but it's there. And then the velar, kuh, and kuh, and then we'll have qua, and go. This idea, everything starts with. God damn it. I actually have a language similar to that. Hold on. Hold on. Here is the phonology for this language: b and o. So the language sounds like this: bo 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 o bo 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 o bo 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 o bo 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 bo, which translates to big talk for someone with little words. There you go. That's a language. Um. So then, yeah, and then we have fricatives times. So this is alveolar. Hold on. I will actually just have alveolar, and then this will be post alveolar. It's just buffalo, buffalo, buffalo all over again. Yeah, pretty much. That way I can have s being the fricatives here, and then this symbol there. Proximate, we will have, I can just change this to, maybe, yeah, so, is this alveolar or post-alveolar? Technically, it's both. I'm actually going to chop this off. And I'm going to just sort of delete that one. Cool. So I can have la here and here. All right, now time to fix this for voicedness. So all of the voiced consonants are going on the very right side of the cell, and all of the unvoiced go on the very left side of the cell. There we go. Cool. So I want to keep sort of a evenness to it, like in most of the ones that I have a plosive, I also have a nasal. In the glottal, see, this is the rough one. One sec, I'm gonna go look back for what term I used back in the original, because I kept a copy. What did I call it? Dorsal. That's what it is. Dorsal. Just means at the back of. I love how companies are starting to embrace AI. Even Dove, the baby shampoo company. Dude, I hate AI. I don't want it anywhere. I made a language. Or I got ChatGPT to make a language, right? Ooh, hold on. Frick. That's not what I wanted. And it started going off tangent rapidly. And then it just copied Spanish. So it's like, what does Dove, a company about beauty, make an ad about AI? It's bad. Dystopian. Because all the tech bros were like, we put so much money into this, we gotta use it. They're just trying to convince themselves it's good. Anyway, this is what we've got going on. I actually need to go here. I can grab a little tiny this. There we go. So the reason I need to put these in slashes is because this is the... Okay, I thought that those looked different for some reason. Because this is the phonetic transcription. So these two right next to each other would be a consonant cluster if these were just the IPA symbols of p and h. So it'd be p, but the aspirated f is slightly different than that, which we got a distinct, you know. This one goes on that side. Maybe I need to keep a space there. Awesome. Yeah, and then I need a tiny little labialized for these nerds here. Okay, awesome. Love that. This one here. I'm already using digraphs. I might as well just sh. Cool. Because that's this is just the sh sound. And then all of the rest of that actually
Ra.
ara. Real. Okay, there we go. Basically eating itself since they keep feeding A at the A. Yeah, and then you need humans to go in there and double check it, which defeats the purpose. Very silly stuff. So this is the constant inventory that we got. What time is it? Yeah, this is the constant inventory that we have. Now we need vowels. Proto-Indo-European. Let's go to the vowels. They have I, U, E, O, A. And then they also have long versions. E, O, A. I don't remember how I got long vowels. Oh, yeah, I do. I had a voiced velar, sorry. Dorsal fricative. Whoa. And I can actually chop that off. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so it's very back heavy, this constant inventory, but it should be fine. Mage. Fire. I want to be hot. Give me some of my strength. Fire. Deal. Mage. Not that kind of hot. It's the only... Well, realistically, that would be the only hot that the fire could give. If you want to talk about, like, aesthetic beauty, then you'd probably have to, like, talk to a gemstone or something. But I don't think you really could take something's beauty because something else could find it beautiful. It's complicated. Such are the shenanigans that you got. Yeah, so let's vowels. So it's just got the 5 I, U, E. Oh, is disputed for how many vowels Proto-Indo-European has, what counts as a vowel. At least 4 vowels existed. Vowels are less common than short vowels. Morphological conditioning is especially strong. In earlier stages, there may not have been a length opposition, and a system with as few as 2 vowels, or only 1 vowel recording may have existed. Surface vowels E, U are extremely common, and syllabic sonorants R, L, M, N existed. All of them alternated in syllabic. Okay. Ooh, also words. So basically what this is saying is that these consonants, the L, M, N, and W, could have acted as vowels. Consonant can provide the second part of a complex of syllable nucleus or diphthongs. E, oi, a, oi, ew, o, m, n. Did not allow vowels were initially vowel initial words. Earlier reconstructions now regarded as beginning with one of three laryngeals. Okay. Um, made the mage hot, usually one in the hot hands. Do you think Hollow Knight did the same thing as you? No, they told the VAs just to make random noises. Some people thought that Cornifer was Hungarian, but like the language he was speaking was Hungarian, but that is not the case. The voice actor, however, was Hungarian. So when people were told to make gibberish, they generally made gibberish with sounds present in their native language. Proto emerged voice aspirated voices. Okay. Freaking all right, so we're gonna have four vowels. We're gonna have ah, we're gonna have we're gonna have o, and we're gonna have e. We're not gonna have oo, because that will be handled by w. Woo. Alrighty. So constructing the vowels. So right. So I'll have front, back. Did Proto-Indo-European even have a? I mean, I'd assume it would. We'll throw it in later. So front and back, we'll have E, mid, bottom. Sounds good. For this one, I'm just going to throw them all like this. This is going to merge. Have these ones like so. These ones like so. We're gonna have there. So we have close, mid, open, then we'll have front and back. This one will be ah, this one will be e. We've got e and o. Reason o is back here is because it's rounded, so o. Do you think? Oh, I already read that one. Okay. So this is what we've got. All right. So this is our phonemic inventory. M, n, ng, p, b, t, d, k, g, p, t, k, qu, gu, s, sh, w, l, r, e, o, a. There we go. Awesome. So, we got to work out what cool, epic phonotactics we want. If we go down here to phonotactics, roots have the structural C, C, V, C, C. Okay. The suffixes VC or CVC. Case endings have CV. Upload. Okay, system A funny. Different grades they could be in. Plain A is turned A grade, full grade. So Wait, hold on. What? The vowels are related words. Grades. Why is grades a thing? What does that influence? Acoustics, upload. Sing, sang, song. Oh. Huh. What grades? Tear. 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 Tor. Tor. Okay. Father. Fathers. Fatherless. Okay, so it had a nominative accusative distinction, and that's what that. Oh, that's neat. Um, I want that. Can I have that? I don't want to just copy it. Um, I was generally surprised when I woke up, found YouTube to see a community post. You know who you are. Yeah. What was I gonna look up? Absolute alignment. Subject of an intransitive verb behaves like an object of an okay. I was about to get a hit sent by the Shelled Mafia. Nah, no. It's just I found it weird that that was the only demographic that I got in the YouTube Studio, so I felt the need to post something about it. Cause that was it. That was the whole thing. That's it. I only have 4%, 4.3% of viewers that it gave me was it with a demographic. I know, all from Ireland. So Proto-Indo-European has a sort of accusative nominative alignment. Um, process whereby short A change becoming short O, long A, long O, and sometimes disappearing entirely with no. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I thought the same. Like, I'm not even America or UK. Shut up. Yeah, no. It's just Ireland. That's it. That's all I've got. So yeah, accusative nominative alignment has the agent of a transitive verb and the subject of the sentence both are treated the same. But with ergative absolutive alignment, it's the agent of the transitive verb and the core is separate from the core argument. And I think that because Indo-European has um this going on, I think it would be really cool to have ergative instead. 4.3% made a dent. Yeah. I have very few. Um. So okay. So I know I gotta put down goals for the language. When you're making a language, it's good to have goals so that you're not lost. So I want ergative. So hold on. Actually, ergative, absolutive, um, alignment in proto-langs. Hmm. Active state of what? Okay. So, evolve. There's so many posts. Right window. Split ergativity with animate analyzing. Okay. Right now. Okay. So I think I'm getting it. Um, it is okay for a proto-lang to have ergative absolutive alignment, and that it can change later. But I guess mobile has a 0.5 second delay compared to PC. Yeah. Also in my um OBS, I have it set to ultra low latency, which is noticeable on my end, but maybe that's why other people don't have that. Anyway, we're making a language. If I were to actually make the language, so proto-langs can have ergative absolutive alignment. That's totally fine. Um, as much as I personally don't care about any sort of masculine feminine distinction, I think these humans would. So we'll have a masculine, feminine distinction. Does Proto-Indo-European have hold on. Proto-Indo masculine, feminine, and neuter. Okay. And does it distinct for animacy? Indo. You just slime. Oh, you changed. A new era. Proto had only two grammatical similarities of morphology of feminine and masculine. There is a theory that in an early stage it only had animate and inanimate neuter. Okay. I actually think that because this leads into mages having being treated as it's I think instead of masculine, feminine, neuter, I think it should just be animate, inanimate. Yeah. Let's see hierarchy. In a second channel to post random stuff since my RPS was made many years ago and has more private info. That's fair. So are you just trying to like boost the algorithm for me? Which I mean I appreciate, but what else do we want this language to do? I'm gonna check my previous one. Check my goals. Natural language simple, aspiration, distinction, and labial as deals. Okay, so it's just simple stuff. I mean, so anyway, so yeah, I guess. Ha. Well, you won't find me complaining. Okay. I want this to have a lot of variety as well. So that way even though that there are only going to be 4 languages, technically 5 once I make an IAL for them, I want them to be as distinct as possible. 159.5 subs. Well, rounding up. That's fine. So, it said that the phonotactics were CCVCC. Um, I think a cool thing to do would be to have approximate diphthongs. So I want the approximates to be what's the syllabic? So basically I want these to be sort of treated as vowels-ish, half vowels if you will. So for diphthongs I will have whoa, I'll have the we'll call this W grade, because I'll just use the grade language for, we'll call this O grade, and we will call this grade. So, we, wo, we will have la, lo, um, so these clusters will be treated as single consonant, single vowels, essentially, for the purposes of it. Hmm. Awesome. Cool. And I can just chuck that right there. Wonderful. Now we have to actually do the phonotactics. Okay. The recommendations on the second channel is horrible since the new account YouTube has no clue what to recommend me. Yikes. We're not gonna have much time to actually get into the meat of it, but it'll be fine. Since we've been posting a few clips, YouTube's recommending how to get 1K subs fast. Makes sense. C B And actually, I'm going to hold on. Two tactics that include initial. This isn't gonna make any sense, but I'm hoping kind of bothered. Nuance. More sonorous. Okay. Anyway, 182 views in the first 4 days, pretty good. It is pretty good. It's very good. Um, that's not basic. Okay. Let's check out artifact scene. I like artifact scene. If it would load.
Good morning, interweb.
Whoa, that's loud.
Let's world build. In the last video, myself and Zidnaf
Pretty dead for
decided
2
upon
days,
my
started getting
language's
views on day
phonological
3.
inventory.
Makes sense.
In this video, I'm going to lay out a plan for how those various. Oh, and from the last video, I added in the requirement that the and ra. Rule 4: nucleus, all vowels. And rule 5.
There's no like final.
And ska to the onset clusters.
Okay. How did I write it in my previous one? Oh. Whoa. Yes, potato human looks down a hole. Thanks. How did I? Okay, so that's how I did it. Okay. Mono tactics. Gotta love the Google Drive names such as bo. Yeah. Um. There. I suppose this would be a better symbol there. Cool, awesome. Yes, great. Love that. For consonant cluster, I'm not going to be able to get to consonant clusters. We're going to work on next time consonant clusters. And I'm going to Proto Indo. Wait, is it actually just? Is it just here? About endings, suffixes, roots, logical rules. Geminants. It's for. I know. Indo-European consonant clusters. Sound laws. Does this count? Okay, we're gonna leave this off this time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe if you think I deserve any of those things, or don't if you think I don't, to lighten the side of my suffering. Make sure you ring the notification bell on your way out. She works very hard informing you that 3 times a year I actually upload something. If you set your notification settings to all, she'll let's save her on paperwork, me on labor costs, everyone a whole lot of stress. Remember, if you missed the start of the stream, I stream 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Make sure to tune in. I would love to see you here. Alright, bye guys. Later. Bye.